Hello to all my Fraggle Rockians. It is week 1 in the NFL, meaning it's week 1 for fantasy football. Time to put up or shut up. And I'm going to start off with this week's Game of the Week. It features the Cologne Centurions and the GE Packerkillers. Centurions are favored by 8 going into the matchup, with a projected total of 120, while the GE Packerkillers are projected at 112. To start off, we have our quarterbacks, Romo against Manning, Romo against the Washington defense, Manning against the Houston defense. Just tell me, I might be a little bit crazy, but I'm thinking Manning's going to put up around the range of 20 points. Romo's going to be sitting around 14, probably throwing a few picks. Their offense looked horrible in the preseason. We'll see if that carries over to the regular season. If it does, we're going to see Packerkillers really struggle this week. A few question marks on Centurions that could be answered in week 1. Pierre Thomas, Ricky Williams, and Ahmad Bradshaw. His whole running back core. We have Pierre Thomas. We don't know how much New Orleans is going to be using him, whether he's going to be a complete feature back, if he's still going to be seeing only like 50 or 40% of the carries. He's going to be the starter, but we'll see how they use him without. Either way, against the staunch Minnesota defense, I only see him racking up about 8 to 9 points this week. Look for Reggie Bush to get the touchdown in the game, and then see him going through the air. Ricky Williams out of Miami. They're going to be going against a really weak Buffalo defense, so you're thinking points. But unfortunately, Ronnie Brown is back, not injured. We're going to see how that breaks up. Ricky's getting another year older. I'm seeing him around 8 points, maybe 7. Unless if he gets that extra goal line touch and gets that touchdown. Ahmad Bradshaw of the Giants, we're going to really see what's going on in week 1. This is going to be the first game that he's ever started in the NFL, and first time that he's going to be the featured back in the NFL. So we're going to see if how many yards, and if he's going to get goal line carries. I'm thinking that Brandon Jackson is still going to get goal line carries. We're going to see this week against Carolina. I'm thinking Ahmad Bradshaw is going to be around 7 or 8 points, unless if he breaks a long one, but I don't see it happening. I still see him not in the double digits this week. Now on the other side, GE Packerkillers, their 3 spot, Steven Jackson, Ryan Grant, Joseph Adai. Steven Jackson against Arizona's defense. Arizona has a strong defense, but you can never count out Steven Jackson. The guy is the beast. I see him lighting it up. He's going to get about 13 to 16 points. Ryan Grant against Philly. You never know who's gonna score for the Packers offense, but I do see Grant finding the end zone at least once. I'm saying around 14 points for him. And Joseph Adai, that's his big question mark. I don't know how much Joseph Adai is really going to be playing this week. If it was me personally, I would probably be starting Jerome Harrison in place of Joseph Adai. You know that Harrison's going to get some carries. I know he didn't look great in the preseason, but you know he's going to get carries, and that's what you need for the points. And Joseph Adai, you don't know how it's going to waver between Adai and Donald Brown. So we'll see how that works. I would probably hold out Adai until about week 2, week 3, week 4, until you really see how the Colts are going to do the split with Donald Brown. At receivers, you got Fitzgerald and Johnson against Randy Moss and Nix for the Packerkillers. Moss is going against the Cincinnati defense. They're projecting 20. ESPN is projecting 22 points. I don't see it anywhere close to 22 points. I do see him in double digits. Because of the contract negotiations, you know Randy's not happy. Only way to make him happy is throwing the ball. So I definitely see him getting the ball, probably around 10 catches. He's going to probably get around 10, 12, maybe 13 points, maybe get in the end zone once. Hakeem Nicks out of the Giants, I don't see anything but like 4, 5 points out of him. He's not their number 1 option out of the backfield, and they do like to throw to pretty much anybody. Kelvin Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald on Centurions side. We'll see how Megatron does against the Bears defense. This would be his time to shine. Obviously, not a very strong defense. And Larry Fitzgerald, with QB controversy going all around Arizona, we'll see how he works out with his new chemistry with Derek Anderson. One thing we do know about Derek Anderson, he does like to throw the ball deep, and the Rams defense isn't really known for stopping anybody. So I do see Larry Fitzgerald throwing up high numbers, probably around the 15 range. Tight end, Zach Miller, Calvin Winslow, I think they're going to be a push, be around that 10-point range, probably a little bit under. Jets defense is only slated for 4 points against Baltimore. I'm seeing them more in that 6 to 8 range, which can make a big difference from the 4, because I'm seeing this being a really, really close matchup. We'll see how that works out. I don't think Baltimore is going to light them up as much as what's being projected. Kickers is going to be close. It doesn't really matter. The only things I would say, I think lineups are set correctly. I would maybe put Owen Daniels as tight end over Canyon Winslow on Centurions side. And like I said, I probably start Harrison, who we know is the known starter, and we know he's going to get carries, even though the rookie's in there, but we know he's going to get the fair share of carries. I'm thinking probably like 65-35. So I'd probably have him in there instead of a die. But other than that, my prediction is Centurions by 1 or 2 points. And, yeah, I hope it doesn't come true, because I hate someone who gave up Michael Turner to win a game. But this is it for the Game of the Week. Stay tuned for all the other matchups. Look for yours on the board.